Many people live for years with fatigue, digestive issues, hormone imbalances, mood disorders, and weight that just won't budge, without ever realizing that liver congestion is actually the problem. Did you know that liver congestion is just another way of describing gallstones, and that gallstones are formed in the liver first and then migrate to the gallbladder? Did you also know that fatty liver disease affects 1 in 4 Americans and is quite literally a liver packed with these gallstones? Traditional liver flushes can take a year or more to fully clear this congestion, but I have developed what I call the triple flush method, which is a safe and guided way to purge the liver and gallbladder more than once within a single cleanse, helping you to move through your liver flushing journey in a fraction of the time. Hi, my name is Allainah and this is Excalibur Healing. Today's video is going to be an updated step-by-step tutorial of the liver and gallbladder flush using my triple flush method. Additional rounds are of course optional, and I will be explaining where in your cleanse you will be making that decision to either keep going with additional rounds or when to stop the cleanse. I made this video for 2 reasons. 1, so that everyone can have the most current version of the cleanse with my additional commentary, and 2, for people who prefer to listen to instructions instead of read them. Timestamps can be found in the description box, as well as a link to the updated ebook. If you're skeptical about liver flushing, I made this video, Proof Liver Flushing Works. Check it out and then come back to finish this tutorial. Welcome to this complete guide on the liver and gallbladder triple flush method. What used to take a year or more with traditional liver flushes can now be achieved in half the time. This advanced method uses a unique approach that accelerates the clearing of gallstones, bile sludge, and liver congestion for deeper results in a shorter window. If you've tried other liver flushes before, this method is designed to take your healing to the next level. In this video, you'll learn the basics of how to perform the triple flush method safely and effectively using simple and natural ingredients following a structured day-by-day process. Adapted from the amazing liver and gallbladder flush by Andreas Moritz and refined through over 50 flushes of my own, this protocol walks you through every step of the process. In this video, you'll learn how and where gallstones are formed, signs your organs need support, step-by-step instructions to flush the organs, dietary guidelines during and after the flush, how to complete rounds 1, 2, and 3, best practices for people without a gallbladder, and how to schedule subsequent flushes moving forward. This guide is ideal for anyone researching fatty liver disease, natural liver cleansing, gallbladder support, bile flow optimization, holistic detox, or non-surgical approaches to dealing with gallstones or a fatty liver diagnosis. You'll also learn how sluggish bile, old stones, low-fat diets, and processed foods can form gallstones, leading to liver congestion. Before we begin, please remember I am not a medical doctor. This video is for informational and educational purposes only. Do not attempt this cleanse if you have an acute illness or if you are currently undergoing chemotherapy or radiation. Always consult your physician before beginning any health protocol. A liver and gallbladder flush is a cleanse that uses natural ingredients to help the body expel gallstones and liver sludge without surgery. This simple yet effective method uses malic acid to soften and break up gallstones, and then a large serving of fat to force the liver to eject bile, which will bring the gallstones out along with it. Bile is used to emulsify fats, but when the liver is congested and the bile ducts are blocked by gallstones, liver fluke parasites, their eggs, or liver sludge, there's no way for that bile to come through the bile ducts, leaving much of our food undigested, causing a whole host of issues we will cover later on in the video. I just wanted to briefly explain how bile is released by the liver when fat is consumed, so you can understand that this liver flushing method is just a normal process your body already performs on its own, but isn't doing so properly because the bile ducts are obstructed. Malic acid is also completely safe, as it's found in apples and other stone fruits, and is what we use to break down the gallstones so they can exit the organs easily and comfortably. Once you start to understand how this part of the body works, it's going to make more sense for you moving forward to incorporate more malic acid-rich foods into your diet and to also eat a diet with plenty of healthy fats to ensure the liver is releasing bile on a regular basis. Low-fat diets are definitely problematic when it comes to gallstone formation and the buildup of liver sludge for this exact reason. This liver flushing protocol is widely used to improve overall liver congestion, to reverse fatty liver disease, to remove liver flukes and their eggs, to improve bile flow and digestive function. A healthy liver produces nearly 6 cups of alkaline bile every single day. Bile helps digest food and keeps the intestines clear of pathogens, harmful bacteria, candida, and parasites. But the liver is also the first organ to become congested with gallstones. When bile production drops, sometimes to as little as 1 cup or less per day, digestion becomes impaired and symptoms begin to show, unfortunately leading to a diagnosis of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease for every 1 in 4 adults in the United States. Over time, these stones can migrate into the gallbladder, leading to gallstone disease and even gallbladder attacks, often leading to surgery. If you don't have a gallbladder, you can still flush safely. Supportive practices before starting include drinking chamomile tea, dandelion tea, taking milk thistle, having tart cherry juice, using castor oil packs, and performing coffee enemas. These are optional, but very helpful. Some of the most common signs of liver congestion include constipation or diarrhea, gas, belching, or heartburn, nausea or vomiting, hemorrhoids, irritability or anger, depression, anxiety, or panic, liver cirrhosis or fatty liver, hernia, acne, eczema, psoriasis, pain between the shoulder blades, dark under eye circles, difficulty losing weight, parasites or candida, gum and tooth issues, joint pain, rheumatism or sciatica, stiff neck, knee pain, sleep disturbances, hot or cold flashes, white tongue coating, chronic fatigue, deep wrinkles between the eyebrows, wounds that won't heal, a large midsection with thin extremities, and greasy hair or hair loss. Something that I recommend to people just starting out on a liver flushing journey is to write down a list of all of your symptoms, physical, emotional, psychological. Just write everything down and put a scale from 1 to 10 how much this symptom is affecting your life. And then as you start doing your liver flushes, go through that list and write down your new number. And I think that's just a really good way to track what the liver flushes are actually helping and what might need more work in a different area. This flush was designed to help the body safely remove gallstones while keeping your organs exactly where they belong. The reason we need to flush is because when we eat foods that create acidic byproducts, especially seed oils, which are the #1 cause of gallstones, other processed foods, refined sugar, alcoholic drinks, or taking regular medications, those acids can bind to bile and create the stones and sludge. Like I mentioned earlier, low-fat diets also contribute. Without enough healthy fats, the body doesn't release bile. Bile then becomes thick, stagnant, and sticky, forming sludge and gallstones. I want to point out something here that I've discovered in the last year that isn't mentioned in my ebooks or previous YouTube videos. There was a scientific study posted in my Facebook group, Excalibur Healing, that said over 80% of gallstones at their core were comprised of liver fluke parasite eggs and cholesterol, which the liver produces on its own. Not sure how many people know that about cholesterol. So what I think is happening is that the liver is jammed up with stagnant and sluggish bile. Then we have these liver fluke parasites laying eggs, and between that sticky bile, toxins from the blood that is passing through the liver to be filtered, and the cholesterol, these gallstones are being formed around the liver fluke eggs. Anyone who has done a liver fluke parasite cleanse will tell you that there are literally thousands of flukes that can come out. So it makes complete sense that many of these gallstones are actually eggs. Doing liver flushes can remove these parasites in their eggs, and if you feel you need more support on tackling liver flukes more aggressively, please email me at excaliburhealing.com and I will guide you on how to go about doing that. I will be making a video on this in the future, but at the time I am recording this video, I don't have anything published on this topic. I do have a method that works that I've used both myself and have seen clients use, so it can be easily incorporated into your liver flushing schedule, and I can help you do that. Even if you are eating clean now, it's very likely that your liver and gallbladder still contain old gallstones that formed years ago, but could never find their way out of your liver because over time they just kept growing larger and larger. As more toxic blood passes through the liver, it has this type of snowballing effect, making it impossible for them to pass through the bile ducts. Now we will discuss the supplies that you will need for this cleanse. There are 2 versions of this cleanse. One of them uses malic acid from fruit, specifically apple juice, to soften the gallstones, and the other version is low carb, using food-grade malic acid powder that dissolves in water. Having these 2 versions available makes this cleanse safe for everyone, including diabetics or people eating low carb, keto, or carnivore. For the apple juice version, you will need 32 ounces of apple juice daily. Organic is preferred, or making your own fresh juice is even better. If you are going to be juicing apples, you will need about 3 pounds of apples per day. This will give you approximately 1 quart of apple juice per day. For the low carb version, you will need food grade malic acid and stonebreaker tincture, and you can find links in the description box on where to find these. For either version of the cleanse, you will also need food grade Epsom salt, distilled water or filtered water, organic cold pressed olive oil or macadamia nut oil, and some type of citrus, either grapefruits, oranges, or lemons. Most flushers prefer a combination of grapefruits with olive oil. The following supplies are optional, and I will be giving you instructions throughout this tutorial on when they would be used. 2-quart stainless steel enema bucket, Psyllium husk powder, and a castor oil pack. Again, you can find all the supplies and the links in the description box. For days 1 through 5 of this cleanse, you will drink 32 ounces of apple juice or your malic acid powder water per day. You're going to sip on this drink throughout the day, and you're not going to drink it all at once. If you are using the malic acid powder drink, you will also want to take 1 dropper full of stonebreaker tincture 3 times per day in 4 ounces of water on an empty stomach. You're welcome to use this tincture with any version of the cleanse, but it's highly recommended that you especially use it for the malic acid version. This is going to ensure that you are breaking down gallstones and that their passage through the bile ducts is easy and painless. Castor oil packs may also be used daily for support. Most people prefer to use these packs in the evening, as it's a great way to sleep with the pack overnight. If you're not familiar with castor oil packs, they are a wonderful tool used for liver congestion, constipation, and stagnant lymph. For detailed instructions on how to use castor oil packs, you can find a link in the description box to my ebook tutorial. High volume sea salt enemas are also recommended before the cleanse to ensure your digestive tract is free of obstructions, but these are not mandatory. The Epsom salt water drink that we have during this cleanse does a great job of clearing the intestines, but some people do like the extra cleansing during the flush using enemas and also using them afterwards to ensure that they remove all the gallstones, liver sludge, parasites from their digestive tract. Something really important though that I want to add right here as far as enemas go is that even though coffee enemas are a great way to cleanse the liver, you do not want to do coffee enemas during your prep week for this flush. And the reason for that is because coffee enemas have a tendency to make bile dump from the liver. And we don't want to do that while we're preparing for this cleanse because we're trying to build up bile pressure so that when we have our final high-fat drink on the last day, we have a huge purge of bile coming out that's going to help pull out all of the gallstones and sludge and parasites and all those things. So Coffee enemas are great to do, you know, any time of the month, just not while you're preparing for this cleanse. And they're also great to do once you're finished with the cleanse to continue purging the liver of whatever is remaining in there that the olive oil drink didn't quite pull out. Now I'm going to talk about your diet for this cleanse, and for days 1 through 3, you're going to eat normal meals, but you want to keep them light. You want to avoid bread, pasta, sugar. You're going to choose, you know, fruits, vegetables, salads, eggs, fish, or slow cooked meats. All that stuff is fine. On day 4, your diet's going to be a little bit different. You could have blended soups, smoothies, fruits, juices. You could have some scrambled eggs, sauteed vegetables. You just want to avoid dense foods again, especially rice, potatoes, or like meats that take a long time to digest and move through the digestive system. Day 5 is where the diet changes, and you really want to pay attention to this part. So on day 5, you're not going to have any fats at all. And again, that is because we are trying to build bile pressure. So when you have that high fat drink at the end of day 5, you have a lot of bile that will be coming out all at once. So on day 5, you're not going to have any fats at all. No butter, no oils, no eggs, no dairy, no meat, no nuts, no seeds, no avocados. You can have a light breakfast and a light lunch. You're going to stop all food eating at 2 p.m. For people who have like a slower digestive system, I would really recommend that you only have like fruits or broth or a smoothie or something. And that if you know you have a slow digestive system, probably you should stop eating any food around noon. After noon or 2 p.m., you're just going to have water. And you're just going to have water until 6 p.m., which is when we start the actual cleanse. At 6 p.m. on the evening of your 5th day, you are going to make your first Epsom salt water drink, which is going to be 3 tablespoons of Epsom salt dissolved in 3 cups of water. You want to allow this solution to sit for at least 5 minutes before consuming to ensure that all of the salt is dissolved. If you are really sensitive to Epsom salt water, you might want to start with 2 tablespoons mixed in 3 cups of water. You'll just have to see how your body responds. This drink is going to dilate the bile ducts, and it's also going to clear your intestines. So if you know that you have a really slow digestive system, you might want to start this step sooner, and you could start it as soon as noon. You could start it at 2 p.m. So really, this first cleanse is just to kind of figure out what your body is going to do. And so it's really important not to get discouraged if things aren't happening exactly on the timeline that the protocol was written. You're really just going to have to learn how your body responds to each step and then adjust it for your subsequent flushes. At 8 p.m., if you are still passing stool, you will make another Epsom salt drink. This time, I would just do 2 tablespoons with 2 cups of water. And do not proceed to the next step of this cleanse if you have not had a bowel movement yet, and contact me for support. At 9:30 p.m., you're going to prepare your bed. You may want extra pillows to prop yourself up in the event of indigestion or upset stomach. You're going to want to silence all devices, dim your lights, get some kind of meditation music going if you want. And then at 9:45 p.m., you're going to make your grapefruit juice and your olive oil drink. And depending on how much you weigh, the quantities will be different. So if you weigh more than 140 pounds, you are going to mix half a cup of citrus with half a cup of oil. If you weigh less than 140 pounds, you're going to mix 1/3 of a cup of citrus with 1/3 of a cup of oil. I like to put this drink in a jar with a lid so I can shake it up. And then at 10 p.m., you're going to stand next to your bed. You're going to drink this mixture within 5 minutes. And then you're going to lay down for 20 minutes and do not move. So this is when I like to play like a 20-minute meditation music. I will just put my hands on my liver and just focus on my liver, meditate, pray, and just make sure that I don't move at all. After 20 minutes has gone by, you can get up to go to the bathroom, you can roll over, you can have a drink of water if you need, but really you're just going to try to sleep until the morning. When you wake up, or at least 4 hours after having your oil drink, you're going to mix 2 tablespoons of Epsom salt with 2 more cups of water. Again, this drink is used to clear out your digestive system, but this time it's going to be used to clear out the gallstones that have come out of your liver from drinking that citrus oil drink. Typically, this starts to happen within 1 to 2 hours of drinking the Epsom salt. After passing all of the salt water and the stones, you can have fresh juice, broth, fruit, or a smoothie if you have decided you are going to finish the cleanse here. If you are going to continue with the cleanse onto round 2, then you can have some juice or water or broth, but you're not going to want to eat. If you feel well enough to continue the cleanse, proceed to the second round. After passing all of your gallstones from the first round, wait until 10 a.m. to drink another olive oil and citrus mixture, and then lay down for 20 minutes. You don't have to sleep. You can move around. You can walk around. I just wouldn't leave the house if I were you. And then you're going to want to wait again at least 4 to 6 hours to take your next Epsom salt drink. And then again, you're going to pass the stones within 1 to 2 hours. It's going to be exactly the same as your 10 p.m. round that you did before. Again, you're going to want to decide by how you feel if you want to continue to round 3 or if you want to end the cleanse here and start to refeed with fruit, smoothie, broth, whatever you'd like. If you're going to continue to round 3, then you're going to follow all of the same instructions, just like you did for 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. the night before. You're going to do it all over again at 10 p.m. again on that second night. So you're going to do everything exactly the same. You're going to have your olive oil and grapefruit drink at 10 p.m. You're going to sleep through the night. And then 4 to 6 hours later, when you wake up, you're going to have another Epsom salt water drink and you're going to pass all of your stones. After round 3, this is when you can have fruit, have smoothie, you can start to eat again. But one thing that I really, really recommend, whether you do 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds, is to make a psyllium husk smoothie. This is going to help push out all the stones that are lingering in your digestive tract. You can find the recipe for that in my ebook, Psyllium Husk Smoothie Recipe. Enemas can also be continued at this point to remove any remaining gallstones. And the coffee enema at this point is especially helpful because it does force more bile to come out of the liver, which could potentially bring even more gallstones and sludge out of that liver that didn't quite get pushed out by drinking the olive oil mixtures. So congratulations, you've just given your body a gift that will continue to reward you in the days and weeks to come. Remember to rest as you have literally just completed surgery without the knife. In the following portion of the video, I'm going to show you results you can expect from following this protocol, whether you complete 1 round, 2 rounds, or 3 rounds. So just keep in mind though that if you are a sensitive soul, go ahead and skip this portion of the video because these images may seem graphic to you. Moving forward, you want to flush every 4 to 6 weeks until you have 2 consecutive flushes that produce no stones. Then you're going to want to flush every quarter, which is every 3 months for about a year. And then after that, you can flush every 6 months for maintenance. Between flushes, you're going to want to avoid processed foods, especially seed oils, continue doing castor oil packs, continue doing coffee enemas if you do those, and continue to eat foods that are rich in malic acid or taking your Chenka Pietra stonebreaker tincture. There is a schedule that I personally do, and I know a lot of people who follow this, where they do their liver flushing during the new moon, and then they do their parasite cleansing during the full moon. So every 2 weeks, you're either doing parasite cleansing or liver flushing, and this seems to work really well for people on this journey because it keeps you thinking in terms of keeping your diet clean, you know, getting ready to prepare your body for releases. And it just kind of keeps you in that healthy mindset and, you know, anticipating that every 2 weeks I'm going to be doing something really good for my body. And I just think this is a really, really beneficial schedule to follow so that you stay on track with these flushes. When I first started doing liver flushes, I didn't know that I could do these every month. I didn't know that I could purge my organs more than one time per cleanse. And it actually took me over 2.5 years to get to the bottom of these gallstones. And so I wish I would have known sooner. I've seen clients get their liver and gallbladder cleared out in as little as 6 months by following these, you know, double flushes, triple flushes. So, and then moving on to a maintenance schedule after that. So there's really no reason that this should ever take, you know, more than a year tops if you're really staying dedicated to these cleanses. Healing is a journey, and your body is capable of incredible transformation when given the right information and support. If you would like to speak with me one-on-one to get a customized protocol that takes into account your schedule, your current diet and medications, things like that, you know, please email me at excaliburhealing@gmail.com, and we can set up a consultation that will set you up for the most successful results. To get a more in-depth copy of this protocol in PDF format, please see the link in the description box. There's also a bundle of ebooks available, which includes the liver and gallbladder triple flush method. There's also a 2-day flushing method for advanced and experienced flushers, a water and coffee enema guide, a castor oil pack tutorial, the Psyllium Husk smoothie recipe, and a gallstone prevention guide. And all of this you can get for $33.33. Thank you for watching this updated tutorial on my 6-day liver and gallbladder triple flush method. If you found it helpful, please like the video, and to receive more content like this in the future, hit that subscribe button. Many blessings on your healing journey, and we'll see you next time.